We're making no apologies. That's it, umhlaba mawuhlulwe so that our people can have access to the land.
Life is difficult, but you must soldier on. Don't give up. If you are a coward, you don't belong here.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Simple Politics. So I was listening to Julius Malema he had an interview with Tshidi this morning. So I was listening to him. There's quite a few things that he touched on, which I think they're very important. He touched on the motion of no confidence that is raised by MK, just his overall view. Because I know me and the fighters had quite a long conversation about this and we couldn't really find each other. Some of us were saying the EFF should support the MK with the motion of no confidence, and also because they're not only just supporting MK, but it's something that we've always spoken about. Voting for the motion of no confidence, we've always said if anyone raises that, we'll support them. And then some of the fighters were saying, but the timing, what is the urgency right now? There's a lot of things going on. Why is MK in such a hurry? Also, what's their reason? What's their cause? You know, what is it that they actually want to achieve by removing Ramaphosa and all that? So Julius Malema spoke on that, which I think is very important. And then another thing that we often argue about as fighters, especially in my live sessions, we always talk about KZN. Ukuti, should the EFF just abandon KZN? And I'm glad Tshidi asked about that. Should the EFF just abandon KZN? What must EFF do? And a lot of the fighters always say, of course, no, you can't abandon KZN. I've got people that believe in the EFF and KZN. You know, by just abandoning it, you are abandoning those fighters. You know, there's still hope. And then you get some fighters that will say, no, we're wasting a lot of resources in KZN for people that don't even vote for us. It's just us giving and giving and giving to them, but we don't get anything in return. CIC spoke on that, which I think is very, very important. And you also touched a few on Floyd. But I mean, it was just a small clip back, nothing major, where he said all the people that are there in Maibuye, they were fired by Floyd in the EFF, which is so true, because Usindane that is in Maibuye right now, he did a podcast with Political Incorrect, and there he was sharing his experience with Floyd Shivambu. He was not happy. Oh, for Sikoza, they were fired by Floyd Shivambu in the EFF, but now they are there. I mean, politics, there's no permanent enemies in politics. And I heard Floyd, I was actually listening to him the other day doing his consultations, where he said when problems when you party, don't bring them here in Maibuye. There are no buses in Maibuye. Because almost we got in trouble in the EFF because they couldn't arrange buses. So Floyd said, and Floyd was the one who decided they must be fired. But he said now in Maibuye, there were no buses in Maibuye. We must not argue about things from other parties, which is right anyway. And then, CIC said, but no, man, they're just cowards of Floyd and not Dalimpov, because at the end of the day, they did not raise these things with him. And he also touched on Ndlozi, which I think is very important. He said, he went to Dr. Ndlozi, he asked him, I heard that you have got ambitions of being a Secretary General. Why, do you want to remove Marshall? Because at the end of the day, Marshall is, you guys are younger, you're going to have time to lead this party. You know, why would you want to remove Marshall? So that means, doctor, of course, he had ambitions. I mean, him being SG wouldn't have been a bad idea, by the way. But I get the point that they're still young, they've got time. And also he said he saw him at the ZCC. Someone actually told me this last year. I think it was in December or January, I don't know. He said, Julius Malema and Ndlozi, they are here. And Dr. Ndlozi, they are here. I can't take a picture because the phones are not allowed in. And I was like to that person, oh, send a picture. He said, trust me, they are here and there's no picture. So now CIC confirms that today. He says he saw Dr. Ndlozi. He was looking on the side. He went to him. He greeted him. So yeah, he touched on so many things with CIC. Of course, he touched on Uta Limpofu, but the same thing that we know about Uta Limpofu, him being pro-MK. I don't think there was anything special about, or nothing new about what he said about Uta Limpofu. Yeah, and then he touched on the anniversary of the EFF in Cape Town, which was a success. It was really a success. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But I want to get into two things. I think I've summarized everything. I want to get into a little bit deep the motion of no confidence that is raised by Umkhonto weSizwe, and how the EFF feels about it. And I'm going to play a clip of Julius Malema. And I also want to speak about the EFF and them giving their resources in KZN and what CIC has said about it, because I think it's actually very important. It's a different perspective, and also it's a perspective of the leader. So it's very important to see what I think and what he thinks, and you know how our minds view this situation. So with the motion of no confidence, so some of us as fighters were saying, first of all, we've always wanted to remove Ramaphosa. So if MK tables a motion of no confidence, why don't we support that? But also, I'm not naive, because I have been listening to the people of MK, and I know that they have not been lobbying anyone to assist them. So part of the things that were raised by CIC was, what's the use of filing a motion, yet you have not lobbied anyone, you have not talked with anyone? And also CIC said something very important, but we could consolidate, like we could merge ANC, MK, EFF, and have a strong united front. But and he even said, and try and work together, and if things fail and we all decide we want to leave Ramaphosa, we want to remove Ramaphosa, we can all lobby each other, and even lobby some of the people from the ANC to help us remove him. So he says that politics is about timing. You don't just do things and things knowing that they're not going to have an impact. He says what you do needs to have an impact, which I agree with that. I think also it's another angle that I didn't view this whole thing from. As I said, it's important to see because he has experience in politics. So, I mean, it's beautiful and lovely to hear him and how he thinks and how he sees this whole thing. And also, you know, with MK now, my other concern was, my fear was us not supporting MK when they're doing the motion of no confidence. And then people say, oh, but Ramaphosa is still in power because of the EFF. And also because he's our Pumanat. People will not consider that we've got small numbers. So, I mean, they will say, oh, Ramaphosa is still there because of the EFF. The EFF didn't want to support MK. But CIC explained. And with MK, I don't know. I don't think that they don't have a strategy. Because Brian Molefe was asked and he said, no, we are still going to discuss. They don't have a strategy, which is what they should have had before tabling a motion of no confidence. So now it's a shot that that motion is not going to pass, which is a waste. Yeah, but let's listen to this clip of CIC and hear what he says.
Especially Ntlego. I was saying, you know, the demand for Ramaphosa to be removed, it's immaterial now. We now have to capture the state power and then operate together, the three of us, plus those who want to come with us. Through that operation, if Ramaphosa is for white capital and working with white capital, he will either release himself or there could be a consensus amongst ourselves, including the ANC, that this guy must be removed through a motion of no confidence. So they say Zuma is a chess player. You can't insist on going to direction where you see you're not going to have any impact. There sometimes you have to retreat in politics, even if you still know what you want to achieve. But to just say, till to date, Ramaphosa. I'm like, we're not getting anywhere. But the fight against white capital and extablishment is something that we do with ease and that we can't retreat from. So I negotiated with the ANC there. They took us a picture. We were next to the toilet when we were about to pass.
Yes, I posted that on social. Yes.
When we were about to pass a budget. I was very simple. You are asking me to vote for a budget of the DA. No, it's not for DA. It's for, that's the problem. You still think government is yours. You don't have government. You are asking me to vote for the budget of the DA. The DA says it will not vote for its own budget, and you see nothing wrong with that. You want me to vote for people who are saying, "Hi, we can't vote for this budget." I'm not going to do that.
Going back to
once you remove the DA,
the conversation can happen on your part.
We can have a proper conversation.
So yeah, that's what CIC said, which I found very interesting. And also another thing that I quickly want us to dive into is the KZN. You know, we've always had different opinions when it came to KZN with the fighters, ground forces, where they would say, well, nope, KZN is not special, we should just leave them. We can't keep on investing on them, giving resources, and for them not voting for us. Eventually we have to let them go. And Tshidi was actually saying the same thing this morning. But Julius Malema answered her a very, very interesting answer, because he's like, well, you can't give up. You can't disqualify yourself. You can't. And he says that anything can happen in politics. Anything can change. Things can change within a blink of an eye, literally. And the whole dynamics can change. So I'm like, I feel like I would learn so much politics if I would, like, let's say I saw CIC every day. I feel like I would learn like so much politics, because I feel like he's so rich in politics. So he's saying you can't disqualify yourself. The odds can change. It's like politics is like chess, guys. Like literally the odds can change any day, any second, any what. So you can't disqualify yourself. So it's quite an interesting take there by CIC, because I know it's something that we also argue about a lot in our lives, where we say, why must the EFF waste their time, deploy people there, yet we know that those people are not going to vote for us. So I think let me play this interesting breakdown by CIC and hear what he says.
The thing that I find fascinating is the EFF and KZN. I understand the need to look and to reach out to everybody everywhere for support. But no matter, I'm going to use the word resources again, but no matter how many resources you send towards KZN, that doesn't seem to pay back in kind. I'm not seeing it move the needle. A part of me is like, why are they not focusing where they've got a base and consolidate there? The need to continue going into KZN terrain and trying to grow when the election results, again, the by-elections are very much consistent with what we've seen as far as elections are concerned. What changes do you foresee happening? Why not let go?
Well, you can't let go. Politics don't work like that. Anything can happen. 5 minutes is a lot of time in politics. Something can happen and it changes the balance of forces extremely in that province. So you can't write yourself off. That would be an act of cowardice. But there's no resource we're sending to KZN. We just changed the leadership, appointed the most capable leadership. That actually shocked me from time to time when I see them in their community initiatives, interventions, and visibility. The kind of people we have in KZN now make us sleep. We are fine. We all have accepted that it is a battleground. It's not like we're doing wow in Western Cape. Why are we not told give up in Western Cape? No, because you like to show this thing that blacks are finishing each other, they can't find one another. In the Western Cape, we're fighting. We started very small. The percentage in the Western Cape, it was very small. I think the last elections where you are now at almost 10%, 9 point something in the Western Cape. So, and someone would have said, hey, Julius, 2%. No. 3% leave this thing and all of that. No. The collective leadership of the EFF said, we don't give up on our people. Whether they vote for us or not, we'll fight for them and we'll spread the message. One day the message will resonate with the people. It took ANC 1912. It only governed in 1994. We are just 12 years. We are in government already.
I always feel like
Well, guys, yeah, that was it. I enjoyed this episode from today. I really do. I really did, because I also felt like Tshidi asked like some different questions, or maybe questions that maybe I had as well. Whereas we know sometimes when CSC goes for this interview, they sometimes ask more or less the same questions. Yeah, well, so I mean, it was a beautiful interview. So let me know what you guys think. If you want to go watch it, you can go watch it on EWN with Tshidi Madia. It's here on YouTube. Go watch the full thing. But yeah, if you... let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of this episode. If you don't know who I am, my name is Zizipolo Belwana. This is Simple Politics. Please subscribe. It is free of charge. You're not gonna pay anything. Subscribe. Let's get this platform into new heights. Support the channel, guys. Buy the host coffee. It's extremely cold in Cape Town today. It's crazy. Yesterday it was very hot. It was humid, literally humid. Today it's cold, it's raining. I don't know what's happening in Cape Town. That's why we are feeling sick, because the weather changes every second, you know. So it's, I mean, I don't know, it's like we are living in a dream. So yeah, please do buy the host coffee, guys. Support the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's meet in the comment section. Tell me what you think. But I thought everything was well explained and very clear. Aluta continua, guys. Until the next one.